You are correct, because actually, and thank you, I had the mic muted because I'm actually going live on our Instagram. I'll show you guys here real quick. I can't feed, so I got this little fancy tripod, and I'm just going to stream live to Instagram. But if you're on Instagram, I highly recommend go over to carolinacoops.com, click in the upper right-hand corner, or, again, YouTube or Facebook, so you can catch the full-on show, but I just thought it'd be fun to stream live behind the scenes. Okay, yeah, so the sound should be good, and we are 1 minute away. We got Kenzie in the green room. Got some tea here. I'm trying to cut back on my coffee. Apparently, it's very acidic. Getting old stinks. Mackenzie's laughing. Appreciate you guys coming here. Hope you guys like the new setup. We decided to, we've done it where we're just sitting down. Actually, we were separated, sitting down at our desks. And then we've done it standing up. We got the bigger green screen. And now I thought it'd be a lot of fun to do the table. And there's a couple reasons why. I'm going to experiment with a couple things today. Kristen? She'll be here. You got any earbuds?
Yep. Got it.
Okay. Oh, and it is officially noon. I like to try to keep on time. We've been busy here this morning, getting set up for the show, trying something new.
Making waffles.
Yeah, those were good. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it with my new diet. I'm only look. You can see how. And I've actually lost a bunch of weight. All right. All right, check. I hope everything's good. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Video Chicken. Thanks for joining us. We are officially live. It is March.
There's your tea.
Thank you. What's today? March what? 26, I think it is. Kristen, thank you for joining us as always. Thank you for letting me hijack your Wi-Fi, your living room. This is one incredible setup. Also, just so you know, I'm going live right now on Instagram. And hopefully, don't be too upset. We have only 4 people over there watching. I'm telling everyone over on Instagram, if you want to check out the actual real show, go over to carolinacoops.com or on YouTube. And, of course, Facebook. I keep forgetting about Facebook. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm going to turn me up a little bit. Is that too loud for you? I just want to make sure. I'm weird. I got to hear myself. Like when we did the Hump Day show on we didn't mean to do a show.
Oh, I prefer to hear you live rather than in my headphones.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could switch off. But either way. All right. So again, I think we got enough people here. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to have an awesome show today. And I'm really excited because around 12:15, we're going to have a guest come on who has built her own chicken coop. And she has done the things with building her coop that pretty much that's what this show is about, is if you're not going to buy one of my chicken coops, I want you to build your own. And we're not here to tell you the recipe, the exact recipe. I'm here to help you create your own recipe, if you will. Does that make good sense? Mm-hmm. And that's what she's done. And I just saw some of the pictures come up, and she's going to come on and talk to us about it. I've never talked to her before that I can remember. I guess maybe we talked last year. And I'm really excited. She even experimented with using the deep litter method with her ducks. Right? Exciting, yes. Okay.
Well, I tried that, but it's been so many years since I've had ducks that I don't recall. I don't recall it really going that well, but I didn't do a huge. I didn't put a lot of effort into it. It was kind of haphazard. I didn't have a pond. I think you remember all that.
I don't remember it being haphazard. What's haphazard mean? Kind of like half-hazardous, half bad,
half-assed.
Anyway, so
it wasn't a real valiant effort, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Well, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. So again, 12:15, she's going to come on. If you guys have any questions, and the whole point of this show is just to continue to educate, answer any of your questions. But I love bringing in people that are actually doing it, taking what advice we're giving, and then of course I want to hear. How did it go? Because one of the things I always tell our customers or customers that are on the fence, when they're going to build their own, which I'm all about, getting out there, learn the tools, get dirty, get some glitter on you, some sawdust, that you may be very surprised how much more expensive it's going to be versus buying one of our coops. All right, so we have Mackenzie in the green room. We're going to go ahead and bring her in, and I also hope you guys love we're sitting at a table here, and we got tea, and we're sharing a microphone. I hope you guys don't mind this mic.
Well, where are your comments coming from?
What do you mean where they're coming from?
Are those YouTube comments?
Oh, we got
Facebook?
comments coming in already for a lot of YouTube. Fishing Matt Ryan, God, he's got to be one of our biggest fans.
So
He's
does that combine all the comments?
Yes,
or
it
those
does.
All only YouTube?
No, it combines all of them. And actually, I'm not seeing any Facebook comments yet. I'm assuming we're streaming over to Facebook. Maybe go on to Facebook. Make sure, if you can go on Facebook, Carolina Coops, make sure we're streaming over there. All right, enough about us. And let's see, and I forgot, we didn't have I had the mute button on. So, Fishing Matt Ryan, I tell you, I love this guy. He's like our wingman. He's always there, ready to rock and roll. He's got a really tough...
Him.
Huh?
We should call him.
We should.
Just get his backstory.
What in the world was that? That had to be Mackenzie. All right, let's go ahead and bring Mackenzie in. She's ready in the green room. We got Ingrid also in the green room. We'll bring her in a little bit. How you doing, Ingrid? Just give us a quick wave if you can. Thank you. Awesome. All right, here we go. Oh, so yeah, Mackenzie was just complaining how hot it was in the office. So we haven't heard that in a while. And that must be the weather.
It's been freezing here.
It has. So you're finally getting some nice weather up in New York?
Yesterday, I had a chance to go out to eat, sit outside, have a couple drinks, and not be frigid. My ass body.
I feel so bad. That's what I've been doing all winter. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You know what? I have my Friday-sized coffee, and it's going to be a great day.
It is going to be a great day. I tell you, I love Fridays. Who doesn't love Friday? You like Fridays?
Yes.
All right. How are we streaming? Are we over at Facebook?
Well, I don't see it.
Oh, my gosh. I hope we're over there. Yeah, I don't see any comments. Let me make sure. Gosh, I feel bad.
It would be obvious, right?
It would be so obvious, and I'm not starting over. Oh, that stinks. Wow. Oh, I feel so bad. For some reason, we're not streaming to Facebook. Oh, you know why?
Why?
I deactivated my personal account officially. I think. Yeah, I know. And it keeps coming back. I don't know. Oh, crap. I didn't check that. Oh, well, we'll just do it without Facebook. I hope we're not going to be upsetting over there. Ingrid, actually, if you could maybe look into that real quick, let us know what's going on over at Facebook. I think, I'm guarantee you it's something that's going on my end.
But you stream from Carolina Coops, right?
But we definitely stream from Carolina Coops. Maybe put a post on Facebook. Matt screwed up.
Or maybe somebody else can check. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure she's on it. Just maybe put a post on our Facebook. Sorry, we are live right now doing Video Chicken Friday afternoon, but Matt forgot to hit a button somewhere. But go to our website, carolinacoops.com. Maybe put a link in there too, which again, I don't have to tell Ingrid. She knows how to do all these things. And there is, I'm just going to bring Emilie in. There is our guest speaker. And Emilie, I'm just going to mute you, or if you can mute yourself for a second. I'm glad you're here early on Lombardi time. So we're going to go ahead now, get started with Mackenzie's top 3 questions. How's it going there this week?
It's crazy as ever. I know I say that every week. Actually, I need to find where my questions are.
And this week's been a little extra crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super exciting though.
Yes.
You know, it's never a dull moment. That's for sure. I feel like I've had a little bit of goldfish brain. You have my attention for about 7 seconds, and then that's it.
Goldfish?
I've never heard of goldfish brain.
I like it though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, all right, let's go.
Their brain only works in 7-second intervals.
Now, who figures that out? Honestly,
I didn't know that.
I think that's a man's brain is every 7 seconds.
No, that's every 7 seconds.
Anyways, all right, let's go ahead. Let's dive right into the questions. I'm glad I can see Emilie in the green room laughing too. I appreciate that.
Our first question, I've had more than normal sales calls this week that I've kind of just answered a few questions. One is, what is the difference between the American Coop and the Carolina Coop?
Oh.
I used to get that question a lot answering phone calls.
That's a huge question. All right, well, I'll tell you what, real quick, because I'm going to practice answering these things as fast as I can. and we're going to go right over to the website. What is the difference between American and Carolina? In a nutshell, they are the same exact chicken coop, except for we designed the American to get the price down, and how we did that is we eliminated all this fancy, beautiful trim work, and we put the siding on the inside. It's really just that simple. Other than that, they're the same size, built with the same lumber. The chickens really are they're not going to notice the difference. The windows are bigger, even though we have defaulted now that the American Coop windows, people have liked them so much, they've asked to put them on the Carolina, so even all these windows are bigger, just like the American. But here's a great example. You see this red and white coop that we did, remember? Going down to Florida. That was our furthest trip at that time.
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but there's not all this white trim is not on the American. Siding's on the inside. But other than that, it's the same exact chicken coop. We did that to bring.
The Carolina you can do board and batten on, right? And the American you don't.
Well, that's a great thing to bring up, because we actually have had some customers, and I think it's awesome. So here's the American. And again, you can see the framing. It's like we flip-flopped,
right,
if you will. We flipped the coop inside out. We've had customers put on their own battens on an American.
How's it look?
It looks really good, actually. I forgot about that. It's not common. Mm-hmm. Again, the chickens don't know the difference. But anyways, that is the main difference there. And my dad just let me know we are not on Facebook. So something got clicked off. So I feel horrible that we are not on Facebook.
Well, do you want to fix it?
And it looks like we have ended the Instagram. Good. Okay, next question. No, if we try to fix it, I will have to end the show and start over again. I'm sure no one wants to do that.
That sounds like a hassle on a Friday. Speaking of that, you're going to get a kick out of this question. Is it hard to put together?
Yes.
No.
It would be hard for me. It would be easy for him.
No,
but I've put together, I don't know, 100 of these now, or been with the team helping. It's now that I've done it, it's not that hard, but it's probably going to be one of the more difficult put together yourself projects that you take on.
That is one of the hardest questions to answer, because
it's big, it's heavy. You're going to need a second person. It's doable. It's absolutely doable. And Matt's done a great job with the manual and with putting together a piece of art that you can do yourself. But it's just going to take some time. Set aside some time to do it. You think you can do it? Is it a weekend project?
We always like to refer to it as a weekend project.
Yeah, you're not going to do it in a couple hours.
You're definitely not going to do it in a couple hours. And what back when I did sales all the time, is I would tell people when we get that question, it depends on your skill level. And I would start to probe a little bit with some questions like, do you understand the difference between a drill and a screw gun? If they didn't know what a screw gun was, they probably shouldn't put a coop together. But I don't want that to happen. I want people to be able to buy our coops and actually learn a little bit of woodworking while they're putting their coops together. So I'm happy to say, I'd have to say 99% of the people have no problem putting their coops together. We get compliments all the time of how well and how easy it was for them to put their coops together, and thanking us for everything we thought about with the design. But there is 1%. I feel bad, but I often think they probably shouldn't have taken this on. But what we are doing is we're listening to what those people are saying.
That would be me.
Well, so here's what we're going to end up doing. And I hope with the new location, with the bigger building, and actually even be able to create an awesome studio area to film us putting the coops together now step by step. So yeah, you have a very visual manual, but I think there's a lot of tips and tricks I can add to it to really help people.
Yeah.
And that's going to make all the difference in the world.
And I guess to retract, it's not that difficult. It's going to take some time. And you're going to need a helper.
It definitely helps to have a helper. It definitely helps to have a helper on the outside, if you will. You're working with organic materials. And in the world of woodworking, the art is understanding there's really no such thing as a perfect piece of wood. But you got to learn how to work it in a systematic way to have it become perfect. And our coops are really that way. It's a giant piece of furniture. So I tell you, I can tell you it's not for everyone, but we are working very hard, so it's easy for everyone. But most people, even with gosh, I mean, I don't know how to even rate it. If you have a screw gun, and I don't know, if you know how to read a tape measure, you got this.
You don't even really need a tape measure.
The whole world would laugh at me if I put together one of these.
Well, maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
We should do a video down in the new shop.
It'd be some cheap entertainment, I can tell you that much.
So hold on. So Janelle Lopez, I'm just looking down at the comments. I feel so bad we're not on Facebook. That's really going to bother me this entire show. I apologize.
Can you upload it later?
Oh, it'll definitely be uploaded
Okay.
later. And I see Ingrid's busy here. Appreciate Ingrid. So Janelle says, I put every single part of my American Coop together all by myself. It took me a while, but man, am I proud of it. Thank you, Janelle. That's
Ask her how long it took.
yeah, Janelle, let us know how long it took. But that's the idea, is we were making sure it's still fun and that you have something to be proud of when you're done putting it together. And yeah, again, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. It should be about a weekend. But anyways, we got one more minute. Mackenzie, what's the last question?
Do you have a place I can look at your coops?
Oh, I used to get that one too. These are great. Sound familiar?
We actually had someone stop in. We don't get very many visitors here, considering where we're located, but there was a guy that stopped in and asked if there were coops that he could look at.
There used to be.
Isn't there one in the front?
No, I keep selling them. Forever since the day I started,
Yeah.
I have, you know, 'cause I hardly ever say no. And I will have a situation. Remember the lady's coop burnt down?
Yeah.
We sold our coop.
Yeah.
Christmas time. Oh, we need it. It's going to be a Christmas present. Someone, you know, may have been sick. This is their lifelong wish. Sell my coop.
Yeah.
But I hope soon in the new location. I can at least say that part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. In the new location, we're going to have live coops on display. Chicken coops with chickens inside them. I can't wait to build the silky coop. That's going to be just silky so people can see, yeah, here's the modifications you have to make so that they don't appear to be not so intelligent.
Yeah.
not so
I'm getting
special.
some silkies just to spite you.
Well,
and I'm going to show you that they don't necessarily need modifications.
I would love for you to do that
Okay,
because I have
okay.
customers that swear up and down I have to build a special silky ladder that have sides like they're blind chickens so they can tap their stick along the side to tap their
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
You got to put the headband up so they can
I guess
see.
it's if you don't allow those special accommodations, they just have to cope. And what kind of
Who
statement
has to
is
cope?
that?
The chickens or the customers?
The silkies.
Yeah, the customers don't cope well with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's a greater issue. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we will have coops on display.
Oh, and I wanted to share that Non wrote in and she said that Boy Scouts and school-age kids do put these together. Not to make anyone feel bad, but it is possible. Like I said, just take some time.
Here's what I can tell you.
Don't rush through it.
Is if you are on the fence, and I appreciate when customers are asking themselves, man, I don't know if I can do that or not. Have faith you can. More importantly, and I hope we have customers on right now that can back me up on this, 24/7, we're right here for tech support. And we do that, one, because we want you to be able to put your coop together, and God knows there might be a part missing, which does happen, and we ship it out right away. But we listen to their struggles, what they might be struggling with, and so that we can keep making it easier. And I love, we just had another customer chime in recently, just glorifying Evan on the weekend, just taking all the phone calls, helping him put the coop together. And of course, Mackenzie, when they're calling during the week, I'm so happy when I hear our customers say, man, they're really good at what they do. So
I just remembered I put together one with high school kids from the ag.
how did that go?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
See, it's,
So,
not
yeah.
it's not so bad. You
At
got
my kids' high school.
Here's the tip. Don't skip a page. Don't rush ahead.
Yeah.
Don't think you know everything. I think some of the people that have had the hardest time putting a coop together are the ones that come to me like, I'm so smart. I'm an engineer. I can figure out everything. They have the hardest time because you just got to follow the instructions step by step. You will be successful. All right. Well, Mackenzie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
You're
See you next
welcome.
week.
Bye.
Yeah, see you next week. All right, so we're doing pretty good. 12:18. We got Emilie in the green room. Emilie, we're going to bring you up in a couple seconds. I hope you're ready. Again, if you're just joining us, we are coming to you live. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina. You are watching Video Chicken. And it is, what is the date today? I just want to do it.
25th. No, 26th.
26, March 26th. If you're watching this on any other day, it is not live. But you are more than welcome. Still leave your questions and comments.
But we are live every week.
We are live every week. And a lot of people are chiming in. They want us to change it. What do you think about that? Yeah, I know. I'm getting pushed back. Emilie, are you ready? You ready to come in? Give me a nod. Yes, here we go. We're gonna bring Emilie in. Emilie, welcome to Video Chicken. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, excellent.
we're good.
Wow, great audio. Good job there.
Oh, good. It's just my computer. I can take no credit.
Well, you never know. We didn't do a sound check before the show, but we kind of just rolled the dice on this one. But you sound great, look great. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. You know, my kids are on spring break, so it's a chill day. I don't have to get anybody into a Zoom meeting or print papers. I'm basically like the PA for my kids.
I know how that is.
Yeah, I tell you, life has changed. I know we're homeschooling, and I'm grateful for it. I love homeschooling. I just got a picture from Nan. My daughter got an A on her spelling test, and it's just such a great feeling. Because I know they can get an A in school, but when they're at home, it's just that much more rewarding. It's like, picking your own vegetables and eating them. It's all coming from home. Emilie, where are you calling us from right now?
I am in the Catskills, in the central Catskills in New York.
Oh, okay. So we're kind of neighbors.
Yeah, and it's actually been about 1 year since I reached out to you.
So
Because we were in the beginning of the thick of the pandemic, and the scene was grim, and I just decided we needed something joyous and exciting, and we'd always wanted to get chickens and never had time to brood them because we split our time between the Catskills and New York City. So, I just said, you know what, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. This is getting bad. I'm ordering chickens, which I did, which you should never do before you build your coop, just as a reminder. And then I reached out to you, Matt, because I started doing research online, and I was like, I need some advice. And you were so generous. And it was funny because I messaged on the Carolina Coops messaging part on your website, and you were the one answering. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's the Coop celebrity. I was like, it's him. But you were very helpful.
Well,
and I think it was at a weird time because you guys were locked down. We were locked down. So we just decided, you know what, we're going to do this.
yeah. So I apologize. I don't recall because I do take a lot of those phone calls, but I can't thank you enough for taking the time today to come on. And I've been filled in a little bit of what's going on there. And I can't wait to share your story because, again, this is what we do this show for.
It's already a great story.
Yeah, it really is. This is what I hope to see, that if you're not going to buy a coop from us, build your own coop.
Right.
And when I tell people that are on the fence, I know our lead time is awful. We're doing everything we can where that will no longer be an issue. But our coops are not cheap. I get it. But there is no such thing as a cheap chicken coop. And I often tell people, you'd be surprised if you're going to go out and price it yourself.
The materials, yeah.
The materials, you're probably going to pay more, and that's not a sales gimmick. I'm not telling you that to try to sell you a chicken coop. Yeah, I want to sell you a chicken coop, but I'm just being honest. And also, you got to value your time. So I've been told that you kind of have some experience with that now. And what I would love to do is if we can go ahead and start talking about that. I am going to share my screen. You'll still be with us. We'll still hear you, but you'll see the screen that I'm going to share. And I hope you don't mind. I have your pictures that
Sure.
I wanted to share with everyone. And I'll tell you, here is exactly what I love to see. I can see where you've taken, I refer to it a lot as the DNA. You've taken parts of our coops, but you designed your own. You've created your own recipe. Absolutely love it. So go ahead and start telling us about your chicken coop.
So, I started by looking online, and I found different coops that I liked for different reasons. But you just have a lot of really smart features and, I think you say this, why reinvent the wheel? So, we reached out to you. I actually had a lot of help from Ingrid. And we just kind of made it up as we went along. I mean, my husband, Jason, is a doctor of laser and atomic physics. So he's that kind of guy that you talk about that's like, I can do these things, right? Except that he really can. But, he Googled, we watched videos, we watched your videos, and we just kind of did it. And really did it to code, actually. Digging 3 foot to 4 foot deep post holes and cementing them in. I mean, that thing's not going anywhere. We looked at your prices, and frankly, I didn't find them, outrageous at all. And then we did this whole thing and we were like, wow, we really didn't save money. You don't have tools, like the real tools that you need to do something like this. A, you're going to have a really, really hard time doing it. But B, you're going to have to buy those tools, and I promise you will not save money. Also, if you're not knowledgeable in how to use them, you can really seriously hurt yourself. We survived with only 1 trip to the ER.
Oh no, what happened?
Let's just say the Coop wasn't the only thing that got staples.
Ugh.
It was just a dumb mistake of a nail gun being left on top of a ladder, which then subsequently fell and hit Jason in the head. And luckily he didn't get nail gunned. He just got cut and had to get 4 staples in his head. But,
Wow.
that was it was only 4 staples.
I bet that bled a lot. Wow.
It did. And, luckily I was there when it happened, and he was just laying on the ground. So I freaked out.
Oh, I bet.
I ran to get our car and came back. First I looked, I was evaluated, and I was like, all right, you're bleeding, we're going to the hospital. So I ran, got the kids, got the car, came back down and drove him to the hospital. And this again is in the height of the pandemic. So we couldn't go in with them. It was just like, here you are, get out and go in the ER and find out what needs to be done. But he was fine. I subsequently decided that it would be good for me to take them out with wire cutters and pliers. So I texted my doctor and I was like, can I do this? And he was like, absolutely not. So I didn't.
That's a true DIY move, right?
Wow. Holy cow. Emilie, you are mentioning so many things I take for granted.
Yeah.
And these are just great points why I can't wait to take this show to the next level. Or the other thing that could also be coming up, I know I'm giving a lot of teasers out there. I really can't say anything, but this, I feel bad. Can you?
Yeah, there's like a story behind everything that she's saying.
Oh my gosh. And
this
is
having
real.
something to do with the pandemic.
Right.
How did that do? I want to hear about the kids.
And I want to make sure everyone knows I am not paying Emilie to say anything. I have no idea what she's about to say. And actually, it just occurred to me, I always have my trusty pen, but I don't have my notepad with me because my memory.
I have a runner.
What's a runner?
A kid.
Oh, yes.
I have a kid.
Yes. If we could get a runner, my notepad is just right over there. I didn't want to be rude and leave, but there's so many things I wanted to write down to go back and hit on. But thank you if you don't mind doing that. So, okay. So we're going to get a notepad. I came to class unprepared today. I thought I was doing pretty good.
I made you this incredible video, and I was editing it in Premiere Pro, and I kind of messed it up. So I don't think that you have the edited video, sadly. But I will get it to you, and you can post it on Instagram. But it really is like from start to finish, our build process, including clearing and leveling the land that we put it on, laying down a gravel foundation, building that out, building the platform. Then we built the walls, the coop, and then built the run and the duck house. And then we moved the duck house. So it was pretty major. I mean, it kept us busy.
I bet.
It was a welcome busy though, because I mean, like in New York, I work in women's health, and my friends were dying. And I know that sounds really dire, but I needed a very serious distraction because I wasn't doing well mentally in that time, because it was just, I do really well with something stable under my feet, and I felt like I was drowning. And it sounds stupid to say, like the chickens in the coop saved us, but it really, really did.
It doesn't sound stupid at all. We get those kind of calls every single day. You would not believe the that word distraction and or therapy.
The stories that we hear, the reasons why people get chicken coops. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps too and chills. Just, I mean, that everybody's story is different, but there certainly is a theme. I mean, there's a reoccurring reason why people, I mean, they're just beneficial for so many ways, and mental health is a big one.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone that's listening, again, this is what I want to share with people.
Yeah.
So many people don't realize this,
It's pretty deep.
I want to speak to the people that are on the fence thinking about getting chickens, because there's so much information out there online. And I feel like we have definitely paid our dues, 12 years, going on 13 years now into the business, that we've learned so much. And that's what I'm trying to share with people, because this is such an amazing hobby. And again, if you have the right coop, it is probably the best hobby. And if you're not going to buy a coop from us, you can build it. But these are great points. I tell you, Emilie, you mentioned something I feel so stupid I've never thought about. But again, I take it for granted. She didn't have the tools. So that's another cost. I'm so used to tools. I grew up with tools. I drove my father nuts with his tools. But I hoped back then he realized what he was creating by letting me just... You wouldn't believe what I did as a kid, what I was building. And all those times when I did work for my father, I'd walk in and his employees were like, will you stop pissing your father off? I was insane. It was just always building things. But anyway, so that's another great point, is not having the right tools. And that's a huge expense.
We had about half the tools, but, because, again, we have this log home in the Catskills and we do build things, but we didn't have all the tools for sure. And even just sourcing materials, you guys had the same issues that we had in finding HDPE or hardware cloth or the parts for the rain barrel and water bar, which you guys, miraculously found for me. It's all those things. And you pay, when you're shipping like 5 sheets of HDPE or some polycarbonate, whatever, the shipping is really expensive. We weren't buying it in bulk like you. You probably get some kind of bulk discount. I don't know. I'm just guessing. We didn't get that. So, when you're just building one coop on your own, all those things factor into your bottom line. Also, like how many, I don't know how many times we went back to get more screws, nails, and staples.
Yeah. All those trips to the store. And then, in COVID time. So, can you go to the store? Is it open? Do they have reduced hours? So even I'm looking at that picture of the duck house and the gas struts. It took us probably 5 tries to get it right.
You did good. Right.
And we were like, which gas struts? How do we position them? How much power do we need them to have? I'm not even using the right words. You can tell how that Google search went. So,
you're looking for pounds. How many pounds do you need to lift?
How many pounds? Yeah.
And you can watch YouTube video after YouTube video and the physics and the math, but there is an equation that you punch in those numbers to get the right size.
And my husband was doing those equations. I actually have very funny pictures. He would, again, he's a physicist by schooling. So he would hand me a piece of wood with a formula written on it and say, go cut this. And I'm like, what? I'm like, so you mean cut off like a 1/2 inch? Like, can you just tell me in words that I can understand?
Make a pencil mark.
It was like, seriously, they're on my Instagram, and, these pictures of crazy formulas and cosine and this and that. And I'm like, what?
So I was wondering, Ingrid said not to show your Instagram because it is private. And that was one thing I wasn't sure if we were able to bring up to show those pictures. If not,
you can.
You sure?
You can.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I hate that we can't stream live to Instagram. So we're just looking at Carolina Coops Instagram right now. And I'm sure there is just, I see you on there a lot. I definitely recognize your face and can't thank you enough for following us on Instagram. But let's do a quick search. So let's see if I spell.
It's Emilie Adams NYC.
Yeah, there you are. I have to ask, were you once a model? Or are a model?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Great job. That was just awesome. That's awesome.
A weird thing that I get paid to do.
What's that?
A weird thing.
It's a weird job, It's I can't like take a lot of credit for it. I got lucky.
So, so again, if you're just joining us right now, which I think some people are starting to chime in a little bit more, that we are on with Emilie right now, and she is taking the time out of her busy day to share her experience of building her own chicken coop. And I just thought it would be good, instead of just always hearing it from us, that here's an experience from a customer firsthand, not paying her to say anything she's saying. I just love to hear it. One, it makes me feel better that I'm not a car salesman, as I've been accused recently on YouTube. But this is what I want everyone. If you're thinking about building your chick coop, you're thinking about buying a chick coop from us, or you're even just thinking about getting into the hobby, this is the best way to learn. You know, people always ask me, where do I start? And I always tell people, go see people that have chickens. And don't just stop with that one person, because you're going to see a lot of good, you're going to see a lot of bad, but how do you know? All right, sorry. Okay. All right. I got to keep on going.
I want to see more pictures.
All right. Well, let's see if I can back out of here.
I'm vaccinated.
So this egg is incredible. What kind of egg are we looking at here?
That is a Cayuga Duck Egg. And interestingly, the black on that egg, people credit these to I am Samanis a lot, but they actually lay like very creamy, almost white colored eggs. So this is a Cayuga egg. And if you scrub that, most of that black will come off. It's actually the bloom. They're really interesting.
And that's right from your neck of the woods, too.
Oh, yeah. That breed, I believe, was created or came from the Cayuga Lake area. And I've never seen that egg before. So I'm dying to get into another thing that is something we haven't done yet. And you have ducks. How many ducks do you have?
5.
Okay, so if we go back into your duck house, and I'm not sure if you're able to see the comments. I wanted to be able to answer, for our viewers out there, if they have any questions for you, I wanted to be able to ask you.
Okay.
But I know I got a lot of questions.
Where would I find the comments?
I'm not sure. I think if you go
I see them on the side of the chat window.
Oh, okay, good. If you go to YouTube, maybe it's there. It'll be a slight delay, but... so here we're looking at your duck house, and beautiful looking duck house. Looks like you're using industrial hemp for your bedding.
Industrial hemp. There's a sheet of HDPE under that.
Oh, okay.
Right? We didn't do the walls. We should have done maybe a 12-inch border. You know, we still have more HDPE, so it's possible to go back in there. But yes, I'm deep littering the ducks, and it's working. So, you know, I really did this as an experiment for you, and
Thank you.
You know, to see how it goes, because I'd messaged with Ingrid about it, and it's going really well. Modifications to deep littering with ducks, because they are dirtier and wetter, are I throw in a little more industrial hemp from time to time, and in the winter I added straw because they just needed more warmth. You know, it got really, really cold here, so. There's a mixture of industrial hemp and straw in the bottom of there, and then it does really well, and very little smell. And if it seems even the slightest bit smelly, I throw in some dried herbs. I have this dried herb mix. I throw it in, and it's working beautifully. I have no complaints. They've been great all winter.
I tell you, I'm so happy to hear that, because I have had people tell me, no, you can't deep litter. And these are the same people that don't even believe in deep litter in the first place. So if you're watching us right now, you're not familiar with what deep litter is. What we're talking about is just you're composting inside your chicken coop, your hen house, or in this case, we're talking about the duck house. And I've been told that the droppings are too wet to compost. And I've always thought, you can compost anything. But I've never done it personally. So, Emilie, I can't thank you enough for being...
Well, that hemp is so absorbent. And every now and then, and not even very often, I might go in there. I have a kind of a rake. It's like the combination of a hoe and a rake. And I go in there and I just stir it around if it looks a bit compacted. But it's going really, really well, honestly.
And have you ever had ducks before without using the deep litter?
No.
Okay, so I'm sure the people that have ducks that have not used deep litter, have not had even a duck dipper, boy, are they appreciating what you're saying, because ducks are very messy creatures. And they can be a lot of extra work, especially if people have a higher sanitation level. But when you can compost those droppings, that is music to my ears. We're actually going to be incorporating the deep litter system in this goose house that we're going to be doing, and they defecate even more. So we're really going to put that to the test. But the industrial hemp is so absorbent. I have a feeling that's got to be what.
I ordered 3 bales of industrial hemp in the summer, and I haven't changed the duck house or the hen house.
That's incredible. So speaking of, all right, so what size duck house are we looking at right there, roughly?
It's 3 feet by 8 feet.
Okay, so you have a duck house, 3 foot by 8 foot, and then we're gonna bounce back over to your hen. It's so funny. I'm seeing a lot of. This reminds me of that Coop in Greenville, South Carolina, the Coop from Hell, we called it. It took us forever. And Evan just came up with such a great idea to incorporate cabinetry and whatnot. You guys did it amazing.
We kind of used that as inspiration.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys did an amazing, absolutely amazing job. I can appreciate you guys really did a lot, which it's one thing to try to build a regular chicken coop and all the things that come along with that. You guys took it to the next level times. I mean, it's right up there with all the things that we incorporate, which normally we don't see that. But you went ahead and did the duck house and then incorporating the HDPE.
How long did it take to build from start to finish?
It's funny because we both were working. So, it was evenings, weekends.
Right.
Sometimes during lunch breaks. So I would say 2 months. 2 to 3 months. I mean, finishing, even once the birds were in, we were still doing finishing things.
Yeah, and I was just looking at this comment from Janelle, who said that, we were talking about Janelle earlier. She said she's a full-time RN, and it took her 2 months as well.
Yeah, my husband just yelled from the other room that it was more like 4 months.
Oh, no, she said it took a month, but that was a couple weeks of rain and painting included.
I mean, we had snow when we started.
Yeah. So. And that's normal that you have a life to work around, or weather to work around, or pandemic to work around. So
medical issues.
We rented a front loader, we rented a tractor thing. We have one small tractor, but we rented a bigger one to clear the area.
Site work,
which was pretty fun, actually.
It is. It's probably like a skid steer, I'm assuming.
Yeah. There's a
Jason, what was that thing called? Backhoe.
A backhoe. Cool. I love playing in the dirt with the heavy machinery. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, there's so many things going through my head right now. And I wanted to also make another point for all our listeners out there that if you are thinking about building your own coop or even put a coop together of ours, I do want to put a whole safety list together.
Don't put your nail gun on top of a ladder or on top of any beam that's over your head. Anything. Don't put anything up there.
That's it. Nothing. You would not believe I've had 2 or 3 hammers hit me in the head because we all do it. But I tell myself and my road crew that is one of the worst habits to get into. And I can picture this nail gun coming off and it hits just right. There is that safety, but you just never know. And that could have killed you. Honestly, especially if you were using a framing gun, definitely lose an eyeball. I mean, that's just something that everyone to take so seriously is don't leave tools up on the ladder. Don't leave it up on top of anything because it will fall. And you can get seriously hurt.
Which we actually said so many times, too. Don't leave things up there. And we still did it. And you still did it. So, just don't do it, people.
Yes, that's right. That's absolutely right. Well, Emilie, thank you so much for your time. I'm not sure if we have any questions from the...
There was one question somebody asked about the roof over the run. And I just wanted to say that we used the metal roofing like Matt uses. And we basically just continued what we did on the hen house across the roof, across the run, just to make it cohesive. I don't know if you have a profile picture of my coop. I know there are some on Instagram, but the actual coop shed is 8 feet by 12 feet. The coop itself, the hen house, is 4 feet by 8 feet, and then the shed side is another 8 feet by 8 feet. Just so you know the space, and then the roof is high. My husband is 6'3", and we didn't want to duck. We didn't want to
Right.
anything. We left the ducking to the ducks. Really tall. So it's like a standard ceiling. I think the walls are 8 feet tall. I know the walls are because I know that the walls of the run are 8 feet tall because they're 4 feet by 8 feet, each one of those panels that you see. The hen house shed part is, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches higher off the ground than the run is because the run is built on the ground, and the coop hen house shed section is built on a platform. So you can see it's just raised up a little bit higher.
So
also put a foundation down.
yeah, it just occurred to me, you built our Craftsman style chicken coop. That is an extremely difficult coop, even for us when we're putting them together, and we've done a bunch of them. It is challenging. I tell you, I can appreciate the time you put into this.
It's beautiful.
Yes. Emilie, I do want to ask you before you go, other than making sure you don't leave tools up on top of a ladder, for people that are listening right now, they're thinking about building their own coops and they're getting inspiration from us and even looking around elsewhere, what would be probably the most important thing that you would maybe change or do differently if you were to do this all over again?
Well, that's a tough question, actually. Don't get your chickens before you build your coop, just as a reminder, because they were in my garage, and pressure washing the garage floor when they moved out was an issue. Sorry, what? Jason yelled something.
Yeah.
A lot of times we asked ourselves in situations that seem sticky, what would Matt do? I think that you should make that as a
That's what we say around my house too.
Yeah. Jason would say, oh, what do you think we should do about this? And I'd say, I don't know, let's go see what Matt would do.
I think we were trying to train their parrot to say, what would Matt say?
Yeah, what would Matt say?
Yeah.
We said that a lot, but I would just say, go into it knowing that, if you really want to do a Matt style coop, buy one from Matt.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's hard, man.
Can we say hi? You said his name is Jason?
Yeah, Jason, come.
Can we say hi to Jason? This will make for great TV here.
Yeah, I want to see the scar.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for joining us.
Oh no, it grew back.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for.
So firstly, I want to say we took a lot of our inspiration from your work, your designs.
Oh.
They're amazing. I think a lot of fun building it from scratch. But if I wasn't working from home and if I wasn't here and had several months to put aside, absolutely I would buy it from you every single day of the week and twice on a Sunday.
Well, thank you.
This is Charlie, by the way.
Hi, Charlie. I saw you in one of the pictures too. That was so cute.
The duck coop one.
Yeah, I love it.
Staring into everyone's souls.
And one thing too, another quick question. I'm sorry to take this a little bit longer, but I know this is a question that's going to come up a lot if it hasn't already, but will later on. Let's see, I'm going to share my screen. People always want to know breeds. They want to know what kind of chickens and also what kind of ducks. And let me zoom in here because it is chick season. A lot of people are like, well, what kind of ducks should I get? What kind
They're shopping.
So what kind of chickens are we looking at here?
So we have 3 Samanis. 2 of them are hens. One of them's a rooster. Mm-hmm. We have cream leg bars. We have golden lace Wyandottes. 2 of them are roosters. So we have 3. Charlie says Wandotes.
It's Wandotes.
We have 3 roosters in total. We have an Australorp. We have, they're not in here. We have speckled Sussex, snowy Eggers, Barnevelders. We have 3 Cayuga Ducks and 2 Welsh Harlequins.
Holy cow. Do you free range?
We do.
Awesome. I'm sorry, Kristen, you want me to do what?
Just go back to the other view.
Go back to the other view. Okay.
And I was curious do they have different...
Would you like to sit over here and have control? I
Do you
tell
have
ya.
different? I want to see who I'm talking to.
Fair enough.
Do the chickens have different personalities? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, they definitely have personalities. I would say the Samanis are flightier. They like to be held less.
Yeah.
Reuben, the Samani rooster, would not let me catch him all winter. And so I
got
treated
frostbite.
everyone in the coop with some ointment on their combs and wattles, but he wouldn't let me catch him. So he ended up with frostbite. Just a little bit. We ended up bringing him in. He's just recently gone back out. And, I thought all this time together and holding him and feeding him blueberries and, whatnot. He got really tame. He is completely feral again within one day.
Oh.
So he is super flighty. I don't know that I would get birds with tall combs
Cold
Yeah.
weather.
because of cold weather.
Right.
None of the other birds had any issues with that. I would say my sweetest birds are the speckled Sussex and the cream leg bars. They'll just come in my lap. Also, my Wyandotte rooster, Goldie, is a lap rooster.
Oh wow.
So we're really lucky that our three roosters get along really well. They definitely have a pecking order. And Goldie is the king. Goldie, we used to think was a girl to him as a her by accident until that first day that she crowed. And then we were like, that's not a hen. So,
I'm sorry, what Charlie say?
she said, that's interesting that the hen crowed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
Mom was like,
a-
that's weird.
A little fun fact, it is true, and I think we've seen it one time. It is possible to have a hen crow mimicking a rooster.
Right.
Remember that?
That is true.
If there's no rooster.
If there's no rooster,
Yeah.
But this was just a rooster.
Right.
that's just
right. That's
another boy.
It was an accidental rooster.
plain old nature.
Yeah.
Which you should also be prepared for because they do their best to sex the birds, and that's Jackson.
Hi,
They don't
Jackson.
always get it right. And so you need to have a plan. Are you going to keep your roosters? And if you're not, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to give them to someone? Are you going to, some people say, send them to Camp Freezer? My birds are my friends and we do not eat them, but some people do. Just be aware, you might end up with accidental roosters.
Did
Yeah.
you buy your birds as females and you accidentally got 3?
I bought all of them as hens apart from the Samanis. So I knew that we might end up with 3 Samani roosters, which it just so happens that we ended up with 2 hens and 1 rooster.
It's pretty good.
The Wyandotte roosters were accidental roosters.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the the percentages there. So
What
the
really
Sermoni.
happened actually is I ordered 3 Wyandottes and they stuffed 2 more birds in there as a free gift.
Ah, okay. What hatchery was that?
Purely poultry?
Okay.
I
Just curious.
haven't heard of
I mean,
that
it was
one.
really generous of them to send us more birds. They just happened to be roosters. And then the funny thing is I messaged them and I was like, oh, I got 2 roosters. And they were like, we'll refund you. And I'm like, but I didn't pay for them. So they were really happy to help me out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think sometimes they do that for warmth to try to pack the box so
Yeah,
they're
they
warmer.
do.
Yeah.
They also
That-
do it to get rid of some roosters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
too.
that might have a lot to do with it too. I mean, it's awful what happens to the roosters in some of these hatcheries. It's one of the downsides of ordering baby chicks from hatcheries. But
Well, this is a great story.
yeah, I can't thank you enough. I hope our listeners and our viewers out there really enjoyed it, took something from it, and I can't thank you enough for your compliments. It just it makes it so rewarding for me. Because this is, I love to do this. I mean, I love owning a business. I love building chicken coops, but I love helping people, and I just love it. And this makes me so happy. And I can't thank you guys
Well, we
enough.
couldn't have done it really without your help. And special thank yous to Ingrid as well. She deserves a raise. And I'm glad you finally got her an iPhone. She did not tell me to say that, but she is amazing. She was so helpful. She's answered so many questions for me. You've all gone above and beyond what anybody could hope for. Hi, Ingrid. Ingrid and I are now
Hi, Emilie.
virtual besties who have never met in real life.
Isn't that awesome? Hi, Ingrid. I had to bring you on. I tell you, this I
Hi.
love when we have customers that are so appreciative of members of our team, and you don't get a lot of screen time. You don't get a lot of credit for what you do behind the scenes. So, Emily, I can't thank you enough. Yeah, Ingrid is
Yes,
a
thank you, Emily.
huge asset. Making sure the website works, and she's constantly answering those peer chats. And Ingrid, so thank you again for everything you're doing there.
I mean, even when I was waiting, we were waiting for the water bar because there were parts that were missing. She recommended a great waterer. She was like, in the meantime, I use this too. And, just little things, that were so helpful.
I'm glad we could help. I'm glad I could help as well.
We just still help. If you guys don't follow Carolina Coops or Ingrid, you should, because you'll learn all sorts of cool things.
Thank you. Yeah, that is the idea. And that's how we want to keep building our audience. I hope they take something from it. So awesome. Well, Emily and I was Jason, right?
Yeah.
Jason, thank you guys so much. Keep in touch, which I'm sure you will.
Hey, you guys are awesome.
Yes, you guys are awesome. You did a great job. We'll have to come
Come
up
visit.
with. We absolutely will. Actually, I don't get down in the Catskills that much. I actually am trying to stay out of New York altogether. I do not do well with the cold weather up there. I'm getting too old for it. But we would absolutely love to come visit. It would be so much fun to do a follow-up show. And we got some interesting things cooking for the future that they may find interest in this. So we'll definitely hit you up.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks,
you.
Jason.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah. And I
She's
sent you some other pictures of her coop. I guess you didn't get on there. You could see the whole shed as she was building it. I sent those to your email.
Yeah,
But-
I would love to see that. She's a great speaker too.
Oh yeah. I knew she'd be. I knew she'd have a lot of information that would help people. And it's funny because I saw the same thing looking at the coop, where the inspiration, like almost the front of the hen house, looked like Maria's coop in Florida, and then the egg box looked like the one in South Carolina. Like I saw just like you were seeing, and just how she got like which coop inspired which parts. And
she gave me an idea. We should start a hotline, and it's 1-800 What Would Matt Say or What Would Matt Do, where people.
I'm waiting for the What Would Matt Do T-shirts, because
What would
I say that too.
what would I never thought about this.
WWMD.
I would-
WWMD. I say it all the time.
I would love, and we'd have to get paid for it, but I would love to create a whole nother part of the business where we get to offer advice, and people ask a lot now and again. I know it's a fine line. Here, I tell people, if you're not going to buy a coop from us, learn from us, but we're not here. I'm not trying to give out the recipe. It's the only way I can really explain it. But I am more than happy to say, here's what you need to know about chickens. Here's what you need to think about. And you're not just hearing it from me. You're hearing it from customers or non-customers or, DIYers to help you not be scared to get into this hobby. And of course, the biggest method behind it is, Emily and Jason there will be some of our best salespeople. People are going to come over, see their chicken coop, go, wow, I had no idea you could have chickens. I had no idea you could do chickens and ducks together. And of course, they'll send them our way. All right, well, Ingrid, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Emily also had sent me a video of her ducks using the water bar, because that's something that people ask if the ducks would actually drink from the water bar, and they do. I mean, they still need to dip their heads, of course, but they do go to the water bar to get water. So
yeah, that was something when
wondering.
Kristen here got her ducks and she had one of our water bars. I was amazed, and she was as well, where the ducks are going up there hitting that and getting water. Again, I don't think it's a substitute for a duck dipper or some type of body of water for them to stick their heads in, but it's just good to know that they will use that.
absolutely.
And again, let me apologize. I didn't mean to pop you in right away, but listen, the spot, you deserve the spotlight. I thought that was a great compliment, so wanted to bring you in. And
Yeah, Emily's great. And there's a lot of customers that I talk to, and I try to help them out in whatever I've used personally for my coop, if they can't get something, or just different experiences that I've had. or how I free range mine with protection, whatever it is. So you always get that personal touch with Carolina Coops.
You know, I often hear, and I love when I hear from our customers, but also even our employees on the hard days, because there's a lot of hard days. I mean, we just shoot to make everyone happy no matter who they are. And so many times, especially Kenzie, I know she's on the front lines taking a lot of calls, and she's like, no other company would provide the service that we provide. And I'm glad our employees recognize that, and they should pride themselves on it. And I often have to tell them too, you know, it's just because, especially on those bad days, someone may be a little frustrated, but it may not be because it's really us. Something else might be going on. But we're still able to provide them something to help brighten their day. And I tell you, the other thing that Emilie said that was really, I was taken back by, because that is probably my softest spot I have, is when you get into the therapeutic side. And to think about, this was not just to build a coop so they can have a place for their chickens and ducks, but you know, she said she was in the medical industry on the front lines, and it was a way for her to get away from it. It's a great distraction, you know, and that reminds me of something we tell a lot of people. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Excuse Kristen, I know that was an important call. I saw
yeah.
doctors calling in. Yeah. So we said goodbye to...
We can have a whole show about our health problems.
Yeah, I tell you,
anybody could. I mean, we're getting that up there.
Tomorrow's not promised. We got to remember that. All right, it's already 12:59. I want to go ahead and get started. You know what time it is. It is time to vent. It's time to get some things off my shoulders. It is chicken police time.
Do I get to rib you too?
You do what? Let's see here. I'm going to bring Ingrid back in. What will this do with this screen? Here we go. That'll work just like that. Something a little bit different. Is that okay, Ingrid? Or do you want me to...
It's a little close, but all right.
I have no idea. That works.
If you're not gonna give me the Barbara Streisand filter, I don't know if I want to be that close.
That's hilarious.
I'm not sure.
Thank you for laughing.
We got to get a YouTube chicken police tablecloth. And we were supposed to...
Hey, you asked me like a few minutes ago if I had a tablecloth.
You know,
I was like, I have a chicken tablecloth from all the booths that I've done. So give me credit for pulling this out of the laundry.
I know, and I wanted to do something else here is... Let's see. We got to keep the green screen going there. I got to show this egg off. We weren't able to do it on hump day. Ingrid, you don't got to go anywhere, do you?
No.
I just heard an all right. Like, okay, come on, man. We got to go. So we talked about this when we were doing our demo show Wednesday night, trying out the new lights. And here's the egg. We weren't able to, you know, you go up to the other camera. It just doesn't zoom in right. Kristen, check this egg out. Tell me about this again. Ingrid, have you ever seen an egg like this?
No, I have not.
It's both dark and freckled. And I wish I could tell you which hen laid it, but I just found it in the backyard.
Well, pretend you can. Pretend that we know what we're talking about here. I mean, this was the copper Moran. Right? It's got to be copper Moran. It's so dark.
Well, there's a Welsummer out
there. The Welsummer that I got from Kristen lays, it's dark and it gets kind of speckled. Not that dark, but it gets a little speckly sometimes. So I'm thinking that's more of a Welsummer. That's a Moran.
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, here's, you know, we got a lot of lighting going on here. Okay. Anyways, and I wanted to show off this. And, you know, I don't know if it's new or not, but this is amazing. I don't know if the lighting is going to let us get away with showing it.
It's the only egg I've ever gotten that's like a blue-gray, a steel blue-gray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't really tell.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Sometimes when I take pictures of the eggs, even my Easter eggers light blue doesn't, the picture doesn't do it justice, the color. So.
Yeah, it is hard to capture. What's going on in the background there?
What background?
Something's moving a lot.
What, on Ingrid or?
No, that's probably not showing.
No. Okay. Only thing showing here.
No.
Yeah, I know. Kristen told me today she's not a fan of the moving background. So anyone out there who's not a fan of the moving background, Ingrid,
it's okay in short doses.
What happened? Why did I not press on for streaming to Facebook? I noticed we're not at least 30% of our. I don't know. Yeah. I got to find out what happened.
It's done through eCam, and I don't have eCam, so there's no way for me to control it. So it might have something to do with your account.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get right into
All right.
video chicken. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Let's do it. Should I play the siren again?
No.
Because you're the only one that likes it.
Yeah, you're cut off. I heard that. I was over there just making waffles or something this morning, and I heard that siren. You were playing with it here all by yourself. Like a little boy.
Well, you got to have fun. I love this. It's such a nice break.
It did freak me
I
out
know.
for just a split second, though.
All right, we're already at 1 o'clock. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
Chicken police time.
So, the Santa Rosa Coop that you did out in California, that beautiful Coop, Melissa. Remember Melissa?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the ones on the video that nobody likes. Yeah, that one.
What do you mean nobody
So
likes?
somebody's.
Oh,
Well,
no.
nobody likes the moving background.
No, yeah. It's short doses.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
hard
that
to make
person
everyone
said
happy.
wrong. I know.
All right, go ahead. Now I'm already mad with
wrong.
starting the word wrong.
Wrong position of the coop. Much better if the position east to west. I'm not even sure that this person knows what position.
Yeah, that
this
would be hard to
is in.
determine from that video.
I saw that comment. I'm trying to not look at these comments. They're confused. They're confused, and we actually talked about that. Didn't we talk about that on Wednesday?
We did.
You know,
Or mostly you did.
so, well, when it comes to the orientation of your chicken coop, I want to allow people to feel very confident that with the right design like ours, it doesn't really matter. If it does matter to you, you want the hen house, the back of the hen house, facing into the direction of the prevailing winds coming onto it. Uh-oh. Local recording stopped. Not sure what just happened. Just got an error that came up. Local recording. I probably burned up my hard drive, but I think we're still live. Give me some thumbs ups down below. I want to make sure we didn't forget anything here. Face the hen house into the west. End of story. Well, at least here.
I think what you said on Wednesday was it doesn't really matter as much what the winds are or the east-west direction. What really matters is how it looks from your house
Yes.
and how you want to present it in your backyard, all the aesthetics. All of that is much more important than because it's made to be versatile, and the chickens are very flexible, of course, and it does get sun from both sides, and you don't have to worry about that so much. Just worry about I like being able to connect with it from my house, from inside the house. I mean, not all weather is perfect, and you may not always want to go outside. So having that visual connection to the chickens and to the coop, I think is important.
It's
more
critical.
important than these other things.
It's like having your favorite painting and you're going to hang it backwards.
Right.
You know, so again, it just falls under the category of don't overthink it. I want to say that we've done all the thinking for you. Really, the only time I'd be very nervous is when we do have coops in huge, wide open areas that have a risk for high winds, and that one might be the one time to flip it around. But and then of course we got into how to lay your metal roofing a certain way. So if the wind is most likely coming in from the west to east, that it's overlapped.
You said it was the ridge cap, right?
Well, ridge cap and the metal roofing too. You're still overlapping.
Yeah.
And it's just a little tiny detail, but it can make a difference. You probably would never notice, but it's just, again, getting into the details.
Agreed.
Yes.
I mean, my coop's out in my coop's out in full sun. I mean, I don't have any tree cover or anything, but the roofing, it keeps it nice and cool in there, even with the black roof.
You have
You
a
know,
lot
I
of
put a shade
vegetation.
on.
All that vegetation
Yeah,
really
for
helps
them.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so we got somebody in our. This is a going back, but we did that video. Beware of the cheap coops. I think you were in North Carolina.
I gotta
and they had a
stop
cheap coop,
cheating.
and they
I
were
saw that. I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
That one made me mad.
So, okay, well, see, at least I'm doing my job. I'm making you mad. He's just trying to sell his coops. I wish people would use punctuation, by the way.
Oh, here we go.
He's just trying to sell his. He's just trying to sell his coops. I have a $350 8x10 shed and a 10x10 dog lot for a run, and I let mine out after 12 that day, so I know there will lay eggs inside the shed.
Sweet. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, someone's got to speak the truth no matter how much it hurts, okay?
$350 for a shed?
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible, you know. And
I think I looked it up. I think it was a metal shed because that's the only thing you can buy for that price tag from Lowe's.
And if you only let them out after noon, that doesn't necessarily mean you've got all the eggs. They do lay until sunset.
The point to that video, and that was one of the better Chinese coffin coops, but the bottom line is I want people to understand, please, I'm trying to help them so they're not deceived by companies and websites where they're showing this little tiny chicken coop, but it looks big. And they put 5-6 chickens in there thinking, oh yeah, they're great. No. This is why I'm in the business. Because
they're probably barely surviving.
Barely surviving. And not only that,
thriving.
It's so easy for predators to get in and snap, you know, and get them. So yeah, of course, yeah, I do these videos to sell my chicken coops, and I do it by educating and then let you make the decision. I did see that. So this is taking the fun out of it. I got to stop sneaking in and seeing that.
Yeah, you don't tell me what's going to be on the show ever. You say, oh, I'd like to see your surprise.
Well, I think that's.
I know, and if you're gonna do my job, I don't need to be here.
Yeah,
I have other things to do.
Wait, what do you mean? What's your job? I mean, I know what your job is.
We're gonna go on strike.
Wait, oh god.
I'm finding comments that are going to annoy you.
You probably wouldn't even notice.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Well,
if we went on strike, would you notice?
If you went on strike?
Ingrid and I went on strike.
Yeah, I'm gonna notice.
Okay, well.
If anyone went on strike. And this is why I can't wait with the new location, and we have the specific studio. And it's going to be, also Ingrid's going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. She'll be running behind the scenes. And I promise I'll stop looking at some of the comments. But go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, okay, I'll give you one more negative, and then I'm going to positive. So this was on the Michigan Coop, which everyone loves. They said, LOL, a designer chicken coop. Just build a simple coop and let the chickens run wild. That way, that's the true way to have organic eggs. I know it's hard for me not to say anything right now.
Well, go ahead, Ingrid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can have a simple chicken coop. Yeah. You can have a coop. You can have the American coop like I have, and you can have the Michigan coop. That's a huge disparity in price, but the function is the same. And organic eggs means what they're eating, not what they're living in. And it's just making it, you know, I don't understand. I mean, I understand that people think it's excessive, but it's also an amazing coop.
Why not be amazing? Why not shoot for the stars? Right. Why not try to land on Mars? Come on now. You know, everyone, you know.
Okay, Elon.
I was just thinking, I was like, I just heard that from somewhere, but it makes sense. It makes sense that why not? Why not? You know, and I said it before that I know there's some people that are like, oh, look at these coops. Look at, you know, these people have all this money. The worst is when they say they have more money than brains. That really makes me mad. But we have learned so much from our custom coops, and that's where it all started, that if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have what I feel to be the best coop for the best price here today. So it goes hand in hand, you know, to each their own. And this is why I do love that we offer a huge range of coops, and then hopefully very soon it's going to be even easier if people want to build their own. Which reminds me, before I forget, I have an announcement that Ingrid said not for me to say, so I won't get into too many details. Well, come on, I'm excited. I'm very happy, and since it's already happening, and it's something that I said we would never do, and we did it. And
okay.
So, you know, I wanted to make sure, and we'll have to put a disclaimer in the videos. When did it start? March 4th, you said? We monetized. We monetized our YouTube channel. I said I never would do that. I would never have ads because I hate ads on YouTube channels. But it came to my attention that it's not as bad as I think it is. Yes, there's revenue that could be produced from it. Most people on YouTube, this is all they do. Their whole job is to have a YouTube channel, and they got to get paid for it. Okay, fine. I do the YouTube channel to help promote my business, and that's where we make our money. And yes, now we have the ability to make money from the YouTube channel, but I don't need to. I don't want to. What I want to do is take that money. Maybe we reach to, say, $500, maybe $1,000. Every time we reach $1,000 from the ad revenue on our YouTube channel, from our customers, from our viewers, from our subscribers, and donate that to a animal shelter, because I love animal shelters.
Why don't we just No, let's narrow that down to chickens.
Well, there's a lot of things we can do. I want to be able to give back. My father's always said, give a little, get a lot. And I tell you, there's a lot of truth to that. And I thought it would be a lot of fun.
Like putting chicken coops in schools. Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, something a little more chicken related than just an animal shelter.
Boy.
Well, there's a lot of, I mean, we've even gotten suggestions from some customers too. And I think it's just, we can choose different ones.
Right.
There's also the North Carolina, I'm going to say it wrong, but it's a fowl. It's a poultry and wild bird nonprofit that helps find homes or whatever.
The thing is, here's what I want to do is I want to be able to integrate the donation somehow where it does benefit getting more viewers, more subscribers. You know, there's a method to the madness, but I hate that we have ads on there now, but we're going to do it because it becomes a norm. And if it means that we're going to be able to generate revenue and be able to give back to a good cause, no matter what it is. And I think it'd be a lot of fun to have our viewers and our subscribers saying, oh my gosh, I know a place that could really use some help right now.
Right.
And share that story with us. Mm-hmm. You know, and again, I don't want to go into the same place over and over. I want to have us be able to pick and choose. I think it'll be a great story and it'll be a good time.
Yeah, and just to be a little bit more specific, not every video is monetized. So I have to go in individually and decide which ones get monetized and which ones don't. So I haven't done all of them. So that's not the whole channel. And there's also the option for people to skip. Now, if they skip, of course, we don't get any revenue from that. But so it's not that everybody's inundated with ads anytime they watch our videos. We try to make it as less obtrusive as possible, but it's still there. If that makes sense.
No, that makes good sense. And you did mention that a little bit last night. So I'm actually quite impressed how much revenue has already been generated in such a short time on like 3, 4, 5, whatever videos. And so anyways, just wanted to let everyone out there know that if you've been watching my videos and you're seeing ads, I apologize, but I figured, you know what, let's do something good with it.
Yeah, that really makes something that's a bummer kind of exciting.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
All right. All right, so one more, and I got another announcement. We got to do a practice run of a major change coming up.
Someone had said that they loved the information and that it was very valuable on the American Coop. And then I also wanted to just give a snippet of an email that we got from somebody that built their own coop. He was in British Columbia, Canada. And this has to kind of do with what Emilie was talking about today as well. And he was a 66-year-old dentist living on Vancouver Island. And because of the dollar exchange and work and COVID, he decided to DIY the Carolina Coop. And he just finished an 18x6 version, which he started in December. And after sourcing and buying all the materials, transporting them home, calculating and measuring and cutting and assembling, I have to say the price you offer for your coops and the ease of assembly is an incredible value. Materials alone for a DIYer are well over $2,000, close to $3,000. Then there's the time involved. The design and its build and its features have obviously been involved over years of you working the design and getting feedback from customers to fine-tune it. The practicality and functionality are of the highest order. You guys have thought of everything, and if I ever need another chicken coop, I will order one of yours rather than build my own. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, Matt, you won't say it. So I want that was more for you than everybody else. But it's not just to say, oh, buy our coops because it's easier. It's just, it's nice to hear from people that they appreciate what we're doing. And I think it's good for all of us that work for you and work for Carolina Coops to hear that. So we appreciate that was John, and we appreciate the email.
Yeah, John, thank you so much.
That makes our day.
Yeah, it really does. It just reminded me of a customer. I wasn't there. It happened over the winter. He said, thank you so much for all your help to help me build my chicken coop. At least I can do it, buy you guys a beer. And he sent, I don't know if we ever showed it on Instagram or whatever, a huge basket of all these custom beers. And I thought that was just a great touch. And
I bet Non enjoyed those. Non in the shop.
No, we were gone.
Oh.
It happened over the winter, so everyone else got to
those different beers. Oh. And I know you don't.
Well, I don't drink beer anymore. Losing weight. since someone said, "Oh, Matt's getting out of shape. He's looking fat." Not to mention I was 8,000 feet in the air. But, anyways, yeah, no
Wait,
more.
who said that?
It doesn't. These
Why were you
YouTube-
8,000 feet in the air?
We're 7,500 when we were in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which we're going to be back soon. I can't wait. Gosh, we got so many killer chicken coops coming up. So was that the positive comment, or was that the third? Did you
That
do
was
3?
positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was positive. And
didn't
somebody else
notice?
had said that. Yeah, I know. He doesn't listen to me.
I'm trying. Well, my mind's all over the
I know.
place, thinking
All right.
about different
Yeah,
things.
we can still.
He's ready to squirrel any moment.
Well, I'm not, but I wanted also to do something because the time is here. I've been procrastinating on a major problem that we're having in the construction industry and in the chicken coop business, and I love change, but there's times I can't stand change. I love improving things, but I know sometimes we scare our customers when we have to make changes, and I love. Huh?
Matt, make yourself full screen so everyone can see. You can take me off.
Well,
I mean, I'll stay on, but make it so people can see.
I need
what
you to
you're
be a
gonna
part of this conversation because you're going to be the one answering a lot of the comments. So, okay, we'll put you back in the green room. Yeah, but definitely stay with us. So, here's the deal: is everyone knows COVID? All right, it's caused major problems. And I even said last year when we had a major problem finding materials that we haven't even seen the gap in the supply chain.
Yeah.
It's just now coming through. There are lumber yards that have oversold. There are lumber yards that are not going to have any more lumber available to 2022. There's a chance we might even run out of lumber to build chicken coops. And we have a list a mile long of coops to build. We're about to go into a much larger location where we're going to need even more materials.
Yeah.
But one of the problems, especially since we had that deep freeze down in Texas, is 80% of the high density comes from along the Gulf Coast. And they stopped mining the raw material that makes the high density and the polycarbonate, and it's not available. And not to mention, too, the price just keeps going through the roof, and we're absorbing those costs. I'm not just adding that to the coops that have already been sold. I don't think that's right. Anyways, and Ingrid, this kind of I wanted you to be a part of it, is I thought it'd be fun to do a survey. What I'm doing is what I do with my team all the time. We're faced with a problem. Yes, I make the final decision at the end of the day, but I love to hear everyone's suggestion. Was that too loud?
Yeah.
That just goes to show how deaf I am. We're going to have to change from the high density. And that's a scary thing to do because people love the high density polyethylene, that white material that lines the deep litter system. And fast forward to today, it's not available. And we have a problem, so we create a solution. And what I would almost love to do is hear everyone's thoughts on this. And I did talk a little bit about this when we were doing the test runs of eCam a couple months ago. But we have made a deal with a supplier coming from the manufacturer for this material right here called Acre. And this is the material I want to replace the high density with. I want to use this material that looks just like wood. It works like wood. You paint it like wood. Right here is a stained piece. It's the same color, but it was stained. You can stain it. You can paint it.
Really?
But, you ready for this? It's waterproof. It has the same qualities high density does, but it works just like wood. And what we're able to do is replace the high density polyethylene and the siding with just one material and have it completely waterproof and still be able to paint it. Now, here's the best part. One, it's available. This is more expensive. I'm not trying to cheap out. This is actually cost more than high density, believe it or not. It is made out of two materials. It's one from recycled materials, recycled PVC, and it's also upcycled from a byproduct of rice called a rice hull. So it's a very sustainable green product. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I want to know from our listeners, viewers, customers, thinking about whoever you are. I don't care. Let me know what you think. This is brand new. It's called Acre. It's brand new in the States. This has been in Europe for a while. I really think this is going to be the product to go to. I even thought about maybe even doing a survey. I think you can do that on Instagram or whatever. Ask people what they think. Because a lot of it is the perception. It's the psychological part that you want to see this beautiful white, high-density polyethylene that you can clean it and make it sanitary. I incorporated that for that psychological reasons. And people are saying that's what we want, but it's not necessary.
Oh, I would definitely rather have something poop colored.
You would think that. You would think that, but I'm telling you, I guarantee you there's a lot of people that are like, no, I love that.
You may not know this, but cleaning is not a strong suit of mine.
So, for our listeners out there, let me know what you think. So again, it's the same material. It's same, what's the word?
Quality?
Properties.
Thank you. It's the same properties as the high density. It's waterproof. It will not rot, but it comes from recycled materials. It's upcycled, so it's greener.
What is it used for? Is it siding?
It's used for exterior wood applications.
Okay.
So it can be used for siding. It can be used for deck boards.
Okay.
It can be used for anywhere you would use wood outside, but you don't want it to ever rot. You don't have to use pressure treated anymore. And we have tested the heck out of these materials. All we got left to do now is boil it. And I can't believe
If we have boiling conditions outside, we have bigger problems.
Thank you. That is true, but I got to it's almost like Mythbusters. Like you keep testing it. It's like, all right, now it's time to blow it up.
Right. Yeah. Didn't you shoot your polycarbonate windows once?
Evan did with
Yeah.
308.
So Mike Trapp is asking, is it lighter and therefore cheaper for shipping?
Thank you. Absolutely. It is lighter. And
it has some heft to it, so it doesn't feel cheap, but it is lighter. Yeah.
There's some heft to it. Okay, so I got to go ahead, and I don't know if Mackenzie's still listening. They did do some of their own tests. I don't know what they were thinking, and this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous what they were doing. Here, I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Bite it. How strong are your teeth? Don't break a tooth, though. These guys in the shop and Mackenzie, guys, it just hurts to see it. Okay, don't break a tooth. Look at it.
Well,
Yes.
you
didn't even dent it.
What? There are people that could dent it?
Ethan, he got into it, so they're like,
some
Matt,
claws on
it doesn't have that toughness that high density does. This stuff is pretty tough.
Yeah, that's surprising that he could bite it.
Yeah, and high density, it's dense, and that's what makes it heavier. I like that this is lighter. I like that it's greener, and yeah, it costs more. But
I think it's prettier than high density. All that bright white.
Well, there you go. Thank you. Everyone out there, please let me know what you think. But I can tell you right now, there's 99% we're going to go with this. It's been a tough pill to absorb the cost and the changes. We got to change.
Oh, look, maybe I do have bite marks.
No, that's mine.
Oh.
That was mine. That was the only thing. They're like, well, because people are like, they're going to go in there and dig. This is a tough.
Well, it's in the inside of the chicken coop, and they really shouldn't be digging.
No, they shouldn't. You're exactly right.
What do you say? It's
they shouldn't be making any kind of contact with the side of the hen
Right. Well, you're going to go in there with a rake, and one day I want to invent the world's perfect chicken coop rake for cleaning. But, and this was kind of, so everyone out there, let me know what you think. But I am going to make an official video when it becomes official. Just letting everyone know that we are going to be switching. But what I am thinking about doing is give the customers the option that if they're already in queue waiting for their chicken coop, that if they want to go with the high density, we will fill their order to their expectation.
Right.
No questions asked. The problem is there are things that are out of our control. I always say never use that as an excuse. We just can't get it, no matter what. But we came up with a solution. So they can choose to do this, no change in price, or they can say, you know what, Matt, I want that high density. Let me know when it comes in.
And the bottom line is that eventually there's not going to be high density. So you're either going to have plywood floor like we used to do, or this. I mean, you're not going to be able to get high density polyethylene forever.
Well, you know what happened recently? We can't even get plywood.
Right.
There's not even ply now. So this just solved the problem beautifully.
Yeah, and Mike Trapp says that pressure treated wood is being forced out of California.
That is true, and I love being ahead of the times. And, pressure treated, it serves its purpose, but I think that ship has sailed. It's not going to last forever, but you have to ask yourself, what is the environmental impacts? I'm not an expert on it, but I do love to at least learn about it and share what we've learned with our customers and let them make the decision. But, this is a material that's going to be around. I don't want to say forever. I mean, I'm sure at a certain time. Again, what would Mr. Chaffin say? How long is PVC going to last? But I see a huge benefits, especially that it's not all PVC. It's also rice hull, which again is the upcycled product. So let's it is, God, it's 1:30 already. I know. How are you doing? You holding up all right?
Yeah.
I haven't even had a chance to look at the comments.
I've been looking at the YouTube comments, but like you have different ones over there.
No, they should all be the same. This is where I left off. So do we have time to go through some of the comments real quick? And Ingrid, I appreciate it. I noticed you were answering them. Corey asked, well, there's no question mark, so maybe they don't ask. Oh, there's a question mark. Do you use the Craig screws for your pocket holes? Okay, do we use the brand Craig screws? I think they might be asking. I use the Craig HD screws on my coupe I built. Just wondering if you have found a better deal on pocket hole screws.
Yeah, you buy those in bulk.
We buy them by the ton.
Yeah.
And we do that because even Craig couldn't keep up with demand.
Yeah.
All Craig screws come from overseas. Our screws come from overseas. I wish they didn't, but that is the fact of the business. And we have our Craig screws, our pocket screws, I should say, are designed specifically for us. They are, I feel, a little bit better than the actual Craig screws. We took a couple things and made them better because we actually even started seeing Craig screws were snapping. I was losing my mind. I was like, you can't do that. But a lot of the people are using impacts. You don't want to use an impact driving a pocket hole screw. Bad idea. Use a screw gun with a clutch. But they also, Corey asked about the HD screw. So I don't know if you've ever seen, Craig has a larger screw, but it's a whole nother setup. It's a whole nother pre-drill jig that you got to use for that larger screw. And I think that's a little overkill, but it doesn't hurt if you got the setup. But I can tell you, and I thought about in the future, because we do buy so many pocket hole screws, we would have the ability to sell them for people that are building their own coupes because there's just none available. But then we can't, I don't want us to run out. That could definitely be a bigger problem. Table was a good idea, less looking down. I'm trying not to. I mean, with the camera's right there. I hope we look good. We got all this lighting. And I snuck my laptop over, and I really love this. We can't see yours too much. And we were supposed to, can you go do what we were supposed to do? The whole reason why we're...
the baby chicks?
Well, don't tell this a surprise. I want to see what happens with baby chicks walking around. What I wanted to do is have...
I got a runner.
Yeah, well... we wanted to have baby chicks walking around on the table, and we were going to put sides on so they wouldn't fall off. And I was going to actually bring the camera down a little bit lower because it is a riot, especially with ducks. But you put the camera in there, and chickens and ducks are so curious, they go in there and they're pecking at it. But we got to try the shot. I'm glad you like the table. All right, so lost 114. He lost 114 pounds, I'm assuming. That is awesome. I hope, gosh, I just want to lose 30 pounds. Do you sell those Carolina Coops shirts you are wearing? We can. Merch is on its way. I know I've been saying it for years, but I'm getting more and more people in place. I want to sell merch, and I want to have a portion of the proceeds. Again, I want to donate. I want to donate to a good cause. I'm not in the business to make money off of merch, but I would love to see people out there wearing it and knowing, here they come, knowing that money's going to a good cause. I can only imagine there's just so many places that could use it. How did your tiramisu turn out? Oh, so Christine, we got some.
Oh, I love that they asked about that.
Yes. Did you even make it?
Well, no, I haven't made it yet.
Can you answer Fish and Matt Ryan's question?
Absolutely.
Matt? I get to it, please.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna get to them all. We're sitting. So you even brought.
Past it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Gosh, I gotta get glasses. Fish and Matt Ryan, what kind brand of square drive screws do you use for the black hardware? Believe it or not, we have those special made for us as well. I'll hook you up. I'll sell those to you. Those you just can't find them. We have those special made.
Those chicks.
Look at the baby chicks.
I said last time I was broody.
And all of a sudden, yeah, look at here.
I got them.
Look at what kind of baby chicks do we got here?
Dark Brahma, Cuckoo Maran, and a White Rock.
Oh my God. I want a Brahma.
See, now isn't this the best? I wanted baby chicks this whole time on the table. I thought it'd be great. Nan came up with a great solution. She said, just put a camera on the brooder. You want to say hi? Let's just scare them. I think that might have scared him a little bit. All right, back to the questions. Now we're all distracted. Okay, so fisherman.
So I have-
okay, so what kind of birds?
What's
Yeah,
that, Ingrid?
just give us a call and we'll help you out there.
Somebody has a question that is interesting. It says, what would be the difference in coop configuration for turkeys instead of chickens?
We
I'm
made a
going
turkey
from the bottom
coop.
up.
Boy, those roost bars had to be stronger.
Yeah, we call them T bars.
Yeah.
T for turkey and T because they look like
Yeah.
a T. Beef up your roost bars, especially if they're not for slaughter. They're going to just keep on growing and they're going to keep on. They get heavy. They get real heavy. But we have made, and we're going to get them on the website soon, where we have special designed roost bars just for turkeys. And then I have to make another head for our custom made machine for our rope wrap roost bars, where we can also rope wrap the T bars. I can't pronounce that. Is your biggest fan? Well, I appreciate that. The guys delivered my Carolina Coop Tuesday, and I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for your business. Let's see here. Hello from Southern Cal. I really like the setup. Thank you, Julie. Ruby Pond, I want to thank you so much. My husband built me a coop and run by watching a lot of your videos. You were a great help to us. You are welcome. Thank you for leaving a comment for us. Definitely appreciate that. I will send pics. We now use the industrialized hemp in our coop, and we love it. Yes. You know, speaking of industrial hemp, all right, and I'll give you a little fill in on, I think it's going to be next week's show. And I hope you guys out there will appreciate it. I just had a very long meeting with the manufacturer in France that produces and processes the hemp. Got a behind-the-scenes tour of their plant because I was hoping to do that this summer, but because of COVID, actually I was hoping to do it last year, but because of COVID, we couldn't go out there. There are some things going on that are good and bad, but in general, that industrial hemp is awesome. What I've been trying to do is learn as much as possible about it, and I'm going to share that with everyone. I asked the sales lady over there, would you come on the show and do this again? Explain to me what's going on. There was a lot of proprietary equipment that they don't want to share, so let's blur it out. Put top secret over it. Look even cooler, right? But last year was the worst year. This one gentleman who's been doing it for 40 years said it was the worst year for producing hemp, and that caused some major problems.
Why was that?
It was a very dry summer. So the hemp didn't grow as fast as it should, and then when it was harvest time, where it's standing out in the fields and it starts to turn brown, that's when it'll lose a lot of its moisture. That's when it started raining. So it has caught. Accident. Are you okay with that? Is that cool? Okay.
I love chicken poop.
We should have baby chick bingo. Yeah, this is where I wanted to lower the camera so they can come right down to it. And anyways, and Ingrid, thank you for that. Make sure I don't miss any comments, because this is the part that I wish we did get to, because that's kind of, people are going to keep coming back if we're not answering their comments. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. I would say it's based on your skill level. So these are probably comments from we built ours from scratch based on your photos. It took us a month to put it together. Oh, okay, yeah. So we talked about these. Full 2 days to put together after painting, but it is so well built. I used 2 builders to put our kit together. Francine, yeah, thank you for that. It's a weekend project, not counting paint. And that is one of the most difficult parts when it comes to painting.
But that's also an option for people, too. And if they feel like they can't put it together, they can probably hire a handyman or, a couple of people off of Nextdoor or Craigslist, some, a handyman to build it. And that might be worth it to them to do so, or to have someone else build it for them.
Yeah, and here's what I'm going to tell you as a disclaimer, and this needs to go in the Cover Our Feathers letter. It probably already is. Just because I say it should take a weekend, and if you pay your builders and it takes them longer than a weekend, don't come back and ask me to pay for that extra. It's based on the skill. Yeah, we've had customers do that. And again, I appreciate your business, but I'm just, all transparency, I'm not responsible for how long they're going to put it. It's going to take them to put it together. And they're like, well, you said it'd take a weekend, and it took 5 weekends. Sorry. Okay. Janelle Lopez, I put every single part of my AmeriCoop together all by myself, and it took me a while, but man, am I proud of it. Yes, we talked about that earlier, Janelle. Again, awesome job.
Yes.
Thank you for leaving that.
There certainly is that sense of accomplishment to get it done.
It is.
I built this.
Yes.
I mean, maybe not from scratch, but you built it.
See, I love that.
That is nice.
I love being a part of that. Love being a part of that. Here's Nonner. We've had school-age kids. Okay, so I haven't scrolled like you
you
have.
got through those.
Okay.
going.
Took a month. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Barry, do you
I've
have?
been keeping up on them.
Huh?
I've been keeping up on them.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. Okay. I'm stopping by the new store and checking it out. Yeah, we'll have some information on that soon. I can't wait. The craftsmanship of your coops is second to none, and I'm sure they will continue to evolve. Thank you, Michael. Yes, and I'm always evolving, always learning, making things better. All right, let's go. The blue looks better than the orange. Oh, yeah. What do we think about this? Ingrid, great job. This was the, we were trying to copy. How do we do? Yes.
It's the same.
We were going for the steel blue.
Yeah. I like it.
I like the blue as well.
Matches your eyes, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? I appreciate it. I was also wondering too if we take a green egg. Oh, come here, don't shoot. We don't need it. Oh, on the computer.
On yours.
Did you? Oh, really? So we're gonna put baby chicks on your
Okay,
computer. It's
an Apple computer. It can handle that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it can. Really? Did you know? Did you tell it to go over and take a dump right there? Can we? A chicken just took a dump on my computer. Anyways, all good. Online chicken coop research leads to Carolina Coops. Yes, that's one of the best compliments I always get from customers. They always say, Matt, we keep coming back to your website. That means we are doing our job, right, Ingrid?
Yep.
I don't want them to fall. We're gonna keep.
Yeah,
back
it's
here.
nerve-wracking.
What's that? Keeping up on the website?
No, it's nerve-wracking watching those chickens almost fall off the table.
There's a giant cushion underneath. Don't worry about it.
There's a safety chick net on the other side.
I don't know.
We're building our own coop based on yours, of course. Lead time and shipping to the Pacific Northwest were major factors. Is difficult. Hubby is a perfectionist and therefore slow, yet has carpenter experience. Cool. Send us pictures. If you guys are building your own coops, please send us pictures. All right, your videos are very informative, and we could not have completed our project without all the fantastic information. And just so you guys do know, too, it's just, again, 2020 was a funky year. We didn't have nearly as many videos of us out in the field. We've done a lot of chicken coops, but we have, hopefully with 2021, there's going to be a lot of videos coming up soon. We got some unbelievable custom coops coming up that I can't wait to show you guys. The distraction was something that I needed right now. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Chickens are so therapeutic, even when they're babies, right? Oh, hi. Ooh. Yeah. Is that you, Tommy? Every project we got, Okay, so I'm halfway through. So, Ingrid, is there anything you wanted to make sure I got to? Because we can start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
Should offer DIY plans. We will. I promise.
We're working on it.
We are working on it, and they're going to be phenomenal plans. I'm hell bent on doing the video, so that way you are going to become a phenomenal woodworker.
So somebody was asking if you're not going to have HDPE at all in the future. I mean, there is an endpoint on that.
Do you want to make that call?
Was that a question? I didn't listen.
Well,
I
think.
Are you going to continue to offer it as an option?
What's that? I really wasn't.
HDP.
The HDPE. I mean, there's going to come a time where you're not going to have it. So people are just going to have to deal.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is COVID or no COVID, HDPE, no HDPE. Here's what I've learned over the years in business. Do you think they're going to jump? Oh, come on.
Oh my God, this is too much. I can't handle this.
Yes, you can. They're fine. We just got to put something there. Here, look. We'll put up the. And then they're just gonna poop on these. What do you got to say?
Steve, well, they're supposed to poop on those.
Hey, you're driving them towards my laptop.
Funny how that happens. Again, COVID, no COVID, cold winters in Texas, whatever. It's the right thing to do. If you got a product that is more environmentally friendly, you just do it, in my opinion. I'm not a tree-hugging hippie, but it just makes sense. And I hope I'm not offending by anyone saying that, but you just do what makes sense, right? You know, we got one planet.
We have finite resources, and we got to make the
Yeah, why
best out of what we have.
Absolutely.
Lots of reasons.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
How do you like your tea?
Well, I think that's it for the comments. I mean, I think we
No,
got to
I see what you're doing. If you got to go, I appreciate it so much.
No, I'm not. I'm
If you're
not
not worried
saying
about the
that.
color of the metal roof, you can save money and ask for the mid-run sheets. It will have just primer on it from the changeover to the different paint color. Corey, you are correct. You know what they're talking about?
Oh, makes sense.
It is fascinating to watch metal be painted. And it's an unbelievable, it's a huge machine, and they take these rolls of steel and then they paint it, and when they go to change the color, the machine keeps going. You can't stop it. And you got to purge the system and then inject the new color. But you got that run of metal that hasn't been painted. Or, yeah, you're right. It's just a primer. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's a great point. A lot of people don't realize that. I forgot all about that. But that is very true. We saw that out in California at a factory a long time ago. Tool belts are a great solution. Yes, tool belts. I love tool belts. Nothing makes me mad when I see.
You've got vests.
Well, we have vests and tool belts, and I find that the guys still don't wear anything because they're paid by the hour, and it makes me so mad. Wear a tool belt, wear the tool vest, keep the tools on you. I mean, I've even bought everyone their own set of tools, so we're not fighting over. And it's usually me. Who took my pencil?
Well, I haven't gotten mine. Okay, yeah, maybe I've got one of your batteries.
Who's got my speed square? And I'm one of the worst culprits. Anyways, yeah, I use my tool belt every day. Built our coop. Let's see here. What size of cupola would you build for I think she probably means 6x8 coop with a 24-foot run. You know, we have our standard cupola. I think it's 14x14. It's something like that. We've made a lot of custom cupolas, but we do have a standard, which I think looks good. You don't want it too big, but you don't want it too small. And make it functional.
It's all about proportions.
Yes. This is the best episode of Video Chicken ever. Thank you. High five. Good job. Good job. I'm glad we're getting better. We're trying. I'm learning a lot. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. See, those boards did work. They're like, oh, do we like Acre or no? I want to go up there right now and just tilt the camera down on them. But they're gonna poop on it. Okay.
They're pooping machines.
As a professional DIYer,
aren't they supposed to poop on it?
Well,
I mean, eventually.
Not without industrial hemp. That's like poop. That's like a baby pooping on the floor without a diaper on. Okay. See, they heard me. As a professional DIYer, I knew I did not want to start from scratch in something I knew nothing about. I had modified a Tractor Supply coop, and it was still too small and cheap. Yes, don't waste your money. I don't want to get sued by Tractor Supply. I'm just it's the animal lover in me.
Yeah, you gotta constantly reinforce those too.
Yeah, you have some experience with them.
Yeah, I was gifted one for my quail when I first started.
Barry Baxter asked, "Do you sell a solar kit?"
No.
Solar is a whole nother story, and I love solar. But here's the point of solar. If you cannot get a 110 circuit to wherever you're trying to get it to, then yeah, solar is great. But there are certain things, especially anything that is a heating source, it is going to require so much power, you would not believe how big your storage bank has to be. Also, I can't believe this, and I imagine it's got to be getting better. And I would love to talk to a solar expert because, again, I do love the idea of solar. Why not get energy? Why not have the ability to spin your meter around the other way and get paid? It's carbon neutral. Have you ever heard that? Mm-hmm. That by the time, and Ingrid, you got solar panels. I would love to hear what you have to say to that maybe real quick, or we could do another show. But it's carbon neutral that by the time you add up the carbon footprint of the manufacturing of the raw materials and then the manufacturing of the solar panels and everything else that goes along with it, and then you might get it's not as long as you would think, and then you got to go send them into the landfill because there's certain things you can't recycle.
Well, they were working when I was working for a solar company. They were working on ways to recycle them. My solar panels are guaranteed for 25 years, so, and the inverters. And they pay for themselves, obviously, and especially with the chickens and growing stuff inside. I have a heater in the greenhouse and the heated water bar and all that kind of stuff, water system that we have. So we use more electricity. So having the solar is great. So they've already paid for themselves.
But a lot of
And I
people,
know
I
that-
feel, get solar because they want to be greener. But to my surprise, talking to experts, it's neutral. Have you ever heard that?
Yes. However, the panels are becoming less expensive, more efficient. Like I said, the solar companies are working on ways to recycle them.
Good.
So
Sweet.
it's not. Mine were actually, my solar panels were made from a company in Georgia, so they weren't imported. And the only thing about when people ask about solar for whether it's a chicken coop door is probably fine, but for the heated poultry system, you have to have the battery backup. You have to have that. You have to be sure that it's not going to fail. And in the winter, you have less sun. You can't,
Yeah,
you
it just
might
takes,
have shade over your coop.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to heat water.
Yeah. And you got to keep that pump going overnight where you're not producing solar. So you have to have a strong enough battery. So I don't think people realize it's not just a little panel on the coop that's going to work everything and you don't need electricity.
Yeah, and that's why, we dabbled in solar, and I said, I can't do this anymore because I spent so much time explaining to people what they, just like with coops.
We did it only a few times that I can recall, and I believe it was 100% failure rate. I mean, really, in the end, I know you hate to say that. I mean, hate to hear that, but it was just, it didn't make sense.
It didn't meet expectations.
All the callbacks and all the troubleshooting.
It just did not meet expectations.
Yeah, and then what it was supposed to do, it's
not a reliable source, unfortunately.
And I'm not talking about Ingrid's system. I'm talking about what we tried to do for chicken coops.
Right.
It wasn't there. So we're definitely not going to. Yeah, we're not going to sell a solar kit.
No.
Not
Solar
right now.
on the house is grid tied, whereas something for your coop, you have to have some kind of batteries, and that's where the problem comes. The more components you have, the more chance there's something can go wrong. Wow, those guys are loud.
All right, so we're coming up on almost 2 hours. I apologize. I am so bummed that we did not stream to Facebook. I got to figure out what's going on there. I just wanted to go through the rest of these comments because I don't like that we don't spend enough time talking about the comments and at least having the questions. I don't think ads are a big deal. I think people who expect free video content and fault the creator for making anything on the content are entitled and stingy. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Ingrid, are you mad at me for mentioning that? Oh, boy.
No.
Good.
I think we should. I think it's
they're
great.
cold.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. I wanted to make that announcement. I'm excited. But I want to make sure people don't get mad at me like, oh, I remember that video from 4.5 years ago. He said he'll never do ads. You're right. I did. Sorry. But we're gonna put the money to a good cause. I like the idea of the acre product. Hopefully prices come down as use increases. Yeah, that's the idea. And you got to start somewhere, and that's just like all the other materials. As long as people accept it, I am really nervous. People are they love that high density. Oh, the other benefit too, this acre materials, it does not expand and contract like high density does, which also causes problems. Oh, you're a mama hen.
Yeah.
Because you could hear they weren't as happy. Did you notice that?
Distressed.
Look at that. Now what you guys have to do?
Now they're all happy. They're falling asleep, closing their eyes.
Oh, you little stinker. Okay. Great questions, Mike. It looks like a cool product. Hello, Dream Coop people. As long as it can handle the deep litter every year or so. Oh, yeah. It's without it. It's yeah. If it wouldn't, we wouldn't do it. Regular plywood will. That's what people got to understand. Even regular plywood will. Don't rely on when you're building the coop and the deep litter system. Don't rely on the plywood to be the part that absorbs the moisture. Because that's what we don't want. Yeah. Rely on the diaper, the industrial hemp, or whatever you're using for bedding. That's what is the barrier between the solid structure and the moisture coming in. Use that diaper. The solid structure is there to keep the diaper in place. It's that simple. It's not complicated. And then, of course, you can take it a step further. We're actually going to be doing this with Shelly's goose house that we did the interview with her. We talked about the goose. Oh, no. whatever. We're going to oil it just like a wooden salad bowl. Think about those old wooden salad bowls. You can use a food safe oil and it will work just fine. All right, getting towards the end. Here we go. We got 8 minutes. We'll keep it under 2 hours. What would be the difference in the coop configuration for turkeys instead of chickens? So we already,
Yes, that.
well, we talked about the turkey bars. There's other things. You should make the nest box 18 by 18, I think it is, and you can make the opening bigger, even though my turkeys go right through the chicken door with no problem whatsoever. Emilie, again, thank you, Emilie, so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah,
We really could have kept going on and on. I think that was a great story, what she was saying, and I did have some more questions, but I just wanted for her to be able to share her story with us, and she made some excellent points.
We can have her on again, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. We have solar and our 100% electric home and vehicle. No gas, even plumbed to our property. Use Trigger's green eggs for barbecue. What is Trigger's?
Oh, that's a grill.
Yeah, that's the type of that looks like a big green egg.
Oh, and Emily's
that's,
still
he's
watching.
saying he doesn't use gas for grilling either. He uses wood pellets. Those are wood pellets.
Well, that's the best way to do it, right?
I have
Isn't
one
it?
on the driveway.
Of course you do.
Well, someone left it there.
All right, guys, we're coming up to the end of the show. Again, big thanks to Emilie out there, and she stuck around for the whole entire show. She was a great sport coming on, sharing her story. Did such a great job. How'd you hold up? This is I went
good.
55 minutes past your threshold.
It was good.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of positive comments. Ingrid, thank you for all your help making the show happen today. And
You're welcome.
I guess we can close out. It is Friday.
Okay.
The end of the week is here. Kristen, great job. Again, thank you for letting me hijack your living room. Everyone out there, keep it safe. Enjoy the weekend. Come back next Friday at noon, and we will be here waiting for you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.